Hey, welcome to the channel. If you're new, go ahead and subscribe. Press the like button. I'm going to get right into this video because I don't know if you've seen it. Some of you have, some of you hasn't. Have not seen the video. It was uploaded on January 22nd. Today is the 31st. Down here, it's like 12:44 a.m. I was trying to get OBS Studio to work correctly. I had to download, I guess, the updated version, which is called Streamlabs. So the frame rate is much better on that. So I'll probably uninstall OBS Studio, the old version. Anyway, this has, this many views right here. And I've been watching the views climb up on it. And the video is titled, During a Baptism in Honduras, Angels Seem to Appear as the People Were Worshipping. And if you, right here, if you look carefully, you will see a supernatural occurrence, but ask the Holy Spirit to confirm it, and not just as a reflection. Intriguing word, reflection. First thing I'm going to say is that this video, now, the baptism going on is actually happening. That's true. But the angels that appear in the video are indeed fake. All I can say is that it is either a reflection as there are multiple reasons it could be happening. It's not short. I'm on my old laptop right now. That's why it's popping up. So, I don't have my desktop right now. I have like a 2017, 2018 laptop with older software. So, hopefully it doesn't crash on me. But basically, you know, some people are saying that it is a reflection. Personally, yeah, I think that this video and the angels in the video are either a reflection from the water or the fog that does appear, or I think the video has been edited with some effects and animation. And what I'm going to do is sort of walk through the video first to show everyone why I think that. Actually, even more so than the reflection fog effect. Like, you know, it could be camera lens issue, it could be reflection of the water, but I'm going to explain why these are not actual angels in the video, just so you can see it. And then that'll be the first part of the video. The second part of the video, I will do like some short little tutorials and show some examples of how some effects can be done. It won't be exactly the same, but I'll do something similar. But I'm just going to walk through it. I'm going to play it. I'm going to point out some things that I have noticed. I've already played through the video a few times. Let's go. Check it out. Did you catch that? Now, you know, there have been many people in the comments who they pretty much doubt what people tell them that the video is fake. I'm going to play this back here. Let me go in full screen. But first of all, let me say something is that most people don't realize it, but on YouTube, you can frame, I don't know the name of these keys on the keyboard. You can actually go frame by frame on YouTube if you press the arrow keys. If you look in your keyboard where the period is at and where the comma is at, they have these left and right arrows. See, if I press left here, I'm actually going backwards. Yeah, that's me tapping, and now I'm at like 22 seconds of the video, and then I'll press forward with right. So you can frame by frame on YouTube that way. And you can already see something weird going on there in the video. But let me play that back what I was talking about so you can see. Right there. Play it again. Look at the fog I should have. This is a little pen tool. I never use it. But I've used it in the past when I was doing animations. Let's go to pen. I'll just do it tiny. I think it's on yellow. Put on blue. Like, focus on the fog in that area right there. Literally the fog that's like right above the two people in the water. Trash that. Close it out. Oh. That thing doesn't like to close. End task. Think that was it. Now focus on the fog there. And you saw that shift. And you can say, oh, those are some wings right there or something. But yeah. And if you notice on the like sort of the upper right corner of the video, it gets blurry too. So if I go in it frame by frame right there, but this is just one occurrence in the video. So that's me. I'm pressing the key. I'm going. Right there. That weird shift. Look at that. That's what I'm showing you. Trees get blurry. There's a huge blurry effect going on. I'm going to continue with the video. Boom, there it is again. So how do I know how to recognize these things? Well, I am an animator. My original channel was Biko the Animator that I had on YouTube. Spent, man, a decade going to school studying animation. I worked at Pixar as an intern in 2019. I worked at Brazen Animation. I am currently working at a studio called Deck 9 Games. So I do have some experience in effects and animation. And after I worked at Pixar, well, first of all, let me say that I've always been a very observant person who was able to analyze things. But after I did the internship at Pixar, I left that place and like I was able to just notice things with my eye that I had never seen before. Just I could search things very meticulously. Just even whether driving down the street, walking down the street, just very small, minimal things that most people can't know. That's the thing about animators, that they are able to see things that most people probably can't. So as soon as I saw this video, I immediately noticed these things. So there's another shit. Look at that. That's a huge change. Look at this. So I'm frame by frame, and look at this. Look how blurry it is there. See that? And then that's where the fog pretty much comes in the video. Those in the previous time, that's where the fog keeps coming in when it jumps like that. That is not a movement of the camera. Because the camera's always moving. You know, unless you're on a tripod, the camera's always moving. Yeah, so I'm just showing you that. There you go. And then it sort of jumps. And then now it jumps again right there. I'm just going back and forth with the keys. Back to that old position over there. And then I think at this point they start to notice the entity over there. Let's see.
No veo más que el camino de la fe, donde muy pocos han querido caminar. Le pido a Dios que me guarde su amor para llegar.
And you can see the fog is still back there. It's sort of lingering. It's a blur. It's still lingering back there.
Puro y limpia su mansión, seguiré.
And this is where it begins to change up here. And there's the change. Right there. Now this is very cartoony. Now listen to this. I'm going to turn the volume up here. To like, hopefully it doesn't hurt your ears. I'll go to 90. These headphones are not too loud. Now you saw it change. Well, let me frame by frame again. Yeah, right there. I'm on the frame. That huge change, right? And I think this is where an actual animated effect comes in. Even if you look at the woman below, you see her jacket back there turns from a bright white to sort of a darker gray. But this is the shift. This is where the animation starts. And basically, I mean, you could pretty much animate anything. And you can take all of the keys and drag them over to where you want the animation to start. Or the effect to start. And this is why I think it's more of an animation. But it could be a combination of the reflection and all that. But I'll get to the important part later. Which you'll really see what I'm talking about. And in fact, whoever originally did the video probably should have let this out. I'll explain it later here in a second. But what I'm saying is, like, basically, you know, I could find a random video of some kid pointing in the sky, and then he begins to scream, let's say at like, 10 seconds into the video, right? Just whatever, he could be screaming at like a hot air balloon or some bird flies by. But then I could like throw in a random monster that appears like, a second or 2 seconds before he screams, and then it'll make sense. So that's how this video works. There's lots of screaming, lots of camera shaking going on. So it's easy to just simply, just time it correctly, basically. It's all timing. I'm going to continue on.
¡Ay, mire! ¡Mire como unas alas! Tómale foto. Es que no puedo porque está en video. ¡Ay, hermano! Mire cómo mire con salto. ¡Ay, aleluya!
And there's where the forms come in more. I know I paused it there, but... accidentally pressed arrow key. Too far hit. I accidentally pressed the arrow key rather than those keys. So here's another shift. Boom. Look at that. 1, 2. Well, 1. Yep, 2 frame shift. Well, 3 frames, but with a little ease. But there you go. So that's 2 frames and an ease up right there. Alright? And that's where the forms begin. And then basically, that's where it comes from, sort of the blurry fog. And then they become more of a, more of a blurred object. Like a more condensed type of fog form, if that makes sense. Because here, sort of the fog is sort of everywhere, but then it sort of forms here into these spheres. Turn that down. And yeah, so they start screaming here. Now check this out. Another thing that I have done in personal projects is motion tracking. Tracking points. Now check it out. I'm frame by framing, right? Look at the smoky entity on the left. Look at it up above. And right there. In fact, even both entities at the same time, they're jumping around, right? Now, why aren't the people in the water sort of jumping around like that? This is what I'm talking about. And this is why I think it's possible either bad camera tracking in the effect, or, you know, they didn't hand key animate it to be accurate. There's a lots of jumping between the objects going around right there. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to move on to 242. Yeah, lots of jumping. She's shaking, but even with, all you have to do is look at the people in the water and then look at the smoking entities above, and you'll see that just all the jumping going, they're not even synced up with the camera in some weird way. It just doesn't line up. Now check it out. Minimize this. So pay attention to, let me bring this up again. I'm just going to use the font. Pay attention to this one. And watch what direction. Watch the direction of this one moves in correlation with this one. Going to the left. Straight this way. And again, it stays up. I don't know if I can use that tool right now. It's being weird. But watch where it moves right there. Right? It joined the other one. There it is again. So, if you're not catching on to it already, well, hopefully you are. That's the first example. All the screaming and camera shaking. It's crazy, man. Calm down. Look at that. So I can see all the shaking is. Trust me, most animators will get annoyed looking at something like this. It's just little finicky, little tiny tweaking details. Yeah. See that? Now watch this. This is what I want to get to. The most important part of this video. Right here. I'm going to play it a few times. Pay attention to, I can't do that tool again. Pay attention to this. Look at my mouse cursor. Pay attention to this woman. And then look at this smoky entity above. This fog entity being. Right? Now check it out. And just focus. You see it? Did you see it? You don't even need animation experience or the eye training that I have to see that. That's what I'm trying to get across. And check it out. Now I'm going to go on it frame by frame. This woman, just focus on her. Focus on this. Before I do that, let me see if I can find something like animation silhouette. Silhouette is very important in animation, right? So check it out. It's almost like now I'm teaching a course here. You know, clearly you can see that's Mickey Mouse. This is Sonic the Hedgehog. This is Tweety Bird. You know, this is Rayman. This is Mario. I know all these characters. They're so funny. Here's another one. Yoda. You know, could be Link right here. Mickey Mouse, right? So think of silhouette as black and white. Silhouette, think of it as the outline figure of an object or character or whatever that may be, right? Oh, it's all Woody there. And then I want you to focus on the silhouette. I'm trying to find a good place. Like you see the woman, her arm. Pay attention to her arms moving, right? And I'm gonna frame by frame. Pay attention to this silhouette here, where my cursor's at. Pay attention to that section right in there, where my pointer's at. And I'm gonna frame by frame, so you see that already. This is where it started. Where her arms are down. The woman below, her arms are down. I'm gonna go forward, slow. And look at that. Now I'm going back. Now I'm going forward. And look. The blur up above, the smoke entity up above, it's extending forward. See? And then the camera gets all shaky at that moment, of course. And so this is what, a lot of people are trying to explain to people in the comments and things like that. Basically, and I'll play it over and over so now you can see it. And I think this is slow. I don't really mess with playback speed too much. Most important part of the video. And what does this mean? That means that it doesn't matter if it's an animation or effects technique that anyone can do. It doesn't matter. Or if it is, a reflection of the fog or something going over the camera lens. The point is that these smoke blurry entities, very ominous entities, very ominous to be angels, right? They're not golden beings of light for whatever reason in this video. It's always a low quality video and it's 2022. No cameras have quality this low. So, but that's what's going on, is that the entities are either duplicates or reflections of the humans in the water below during the actual baptism. That's what's going on. That's all it is. And then someone had once said another comment like, oh, why isn't the third person, why don't they have a smoky entity above? But check it out. They do. Again, I have the eyesight, from that training, just learning animation over the years, working at Pixar for the short time that I did. I can notice these things. Check it out. There's the third man. Where my cursor's at, in the middle. When look down here, he reaches his arm to the right, over to her. Think it's a her. Again, blurry video, you can't tell who's who. And then if you look up here, her arm reaches out right there, just like that. I'm going back, and then his arm reaches out, and now they're all joined up. And then the blurs are joined up, and that is why the angels are fake. And like I said in the second part of the video, I'll probably do like a short little tutorial and show some ways that it can be done. There you go. Thanks for watching the first part. Continue watching if you want. Second part of the video, I don't know if I'm going to have it in the same video or not, but I'm going to, like I said, demonstrate what camera tracking is a little bit in After Effects, and also probably rotoscope my own little blurry images that I pretty much already have here. These are free stock images that I found. Or videos, actually. Free stock videos that I found. So I'm just going to work with those, do whatever I want. Oh! Before I do that, I forgot. I totally skipped something. Oh, where was I at? Oh, I got to find it. You're going to get a trip on this one. Do you hear that? So this is why I turned up the audio earlier and I totally forgot. I'm turning it back up. I'm going to play this over and over so you can hear it. Listen for a whoosh wind sound effect. Whoosh. Listen for that. Whoosh. Listen for this. There you go. Check this out. Pixabay.com. Whoosh. I've used whoosh sound effects before on my projects. I mean, there you go. Alright, next part of the video. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. If you want to continue watching, go ahead.
Shinobu Kocho. Butterfly dance.